Okay, so when I say high-tech security control room, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably something straight out of a spy movie, right? But what Hollywood shows you and what a real modern security center looks like, well, they're worlds apart. Let's get into why. You know the scene? It's always a massive wall of monitors, every single one showing a live camera feed. You've got guards with a fresh cup of coffee, their eyes glued to the screens, just waiting to spot trouble. It looks super impressive, doesn't it? It feels completely impenetrable. But here's the twist. What if I told you that this very design is its single biggest flaw? See, the problem isn't the tech, it's our own biology. The human brain just isn't built to process that much visual information all at once. In fact, research shows that after only about 20 minutes of staring at a wall of screens like that, an operator starts to experience something called video blindness. Their eyes are still open, but their brain has kind of checked out. It stops processing new information. They could miss a major event happening right in front of them. So, if the goal isn't just to have people watch a million screens, what is the real mission of a modern security control room? In the industry, they call it a SOC, a Security Operations Center. A SOC isn't some passive viewing gallery. It's an active information processing hub. Its main job is to pull in data from absolutely everywhere. Cameras, sure, but also door alarms, access card swipes, even sensors on a fence line. And then, this is the most important part. It has to filter out all the noise to find the one signal that's a real threat. You can really boil this down to three core functions. First, they monitor all those incoming streams of data. Then, they analyze that info to figure out what's a false alarm versus what's a genuine threat. And finally, they respond, getting guards on the scene, calling the authorities, and basically managing the whole incident from start to finish. Now, to do that job well, day in and day out, you have to design the entire environment to fight against the SOC's number one enemy. And it's not a sophisticated hacker or a cat burglar. It's something way more basic: human fatigue. This quote just nails it. A tired operator, a distracted operator, an uncomfortable operator, that is the weakest link in the entire security chain. It doesn't matter if you've spent millions of dollars on cameras, if the person responsible for watching them is too sore or has a headache from screen glare to actually notice an alarm. So the whole environment is actually engineered to combat that fatigue. The lighting, it's indirect and dimmable to prevent glare on the screens. The consoles are curved, so every button and every control is within easy arm's reach. The chairs aren't just comfy, they're heavy-duty, specifically rated for 24/7 use. Even the air conditioning is kept at a constant, slightly cooler 21 degrees Celsius or 70 Fahrenheit because it helps maintain alertness. Every single detail is designed for focus. And all of this brings us to the most effective and honestly, the most counterintuitive strategy in modern security. It's the real solution to video blindness, and it's all about looking at a lot less so you can see a lot more. Okay, look at this. On the left, you've got the old way, just information overload, constant visual noise that we know leads straight to video blindness. But now look at the right. This is the smart way. It's called exception-based monitoring. Here, the main video wall is normally blank. That's right, it's black. Nothing gets shown unless an alarm goes off. So if a door gets forced open, the system automatically pushes the video from that one specific camera right up onto the main screen for the operator to see. And that right there is the black screen philosophy. Instead of forcing an operator to find a needle in a haystack of 50 different video feeds, the system hands them the needle. Their attention is only ever drawn to what actually matters at the exact moment it matters. It's such an elegant fix for a really complex human problem. So an operator sees a real threat. What happens next? Well, the next huge challenge is communication. In a super stressful situation, confusion can be just as deadly as the threat itself, which is why SOCs use really strict protocols to make sure every single message is crystal clear. To keep things tight, they use the simple ABC rule for all radio calls. A is for accurate. Stick to the facts, no guessing, no opinions. B is for brief. Say what you need to say and then get off the channel so someone else can use it. And C is for clear. Speak slowly and use the phonetic alphabet if there's any chance you could be misunderstood. It's all about eliminating any possible confusion when every second counts. They also rely heavily on a code system. And why is that? Well, imagine you're in a crowded public space and you hear someone shout, "There's a bomb," over a radio. That would cause total panic. But using codes like code red for a fire or code blue for a medical issue gets the essential info to the response team without scaring the public. All right, finally, let's talk about one of the most vulnerable moments in any 24/7 operation, the shift change. This is a point where critical information can so easily fall through the cracks when one team hands off control to the next. To stop that from happening, there's a really strict handover protocol. The incoming team actually shows up 15 minutes early, so there's an overlap. The outgoing supervisor walks them through a formal document called a pass-on log, which details everything: any incidents that are still active, any important people coming to the site, any potential threats. The handoff isn't officially over until both supervisors have signed that log, confirming the new shift has the con, as in control of the facility. When you boil it all down, the best security isn't about having more screens or flashier technology. It's about a deep understanding of human psychology, knowing our limits and playing to our strengths. It's about building systems that manage our attention instead of overwhelming it. And that kind of leaves us with a bigger question, doesn't it? In our own lives, with all the constant digital noise, where else could a black screen philosophy help us filter out the static and focus on what truly matters?